Doing well.
Okay, that's great. Have a nice day. Have a nice day.
I will have a nice day.
Fine. Are we going to talk more today about your favorite mayor of all time?
Let's talk about Mayor Daley II, Mayor Richie M. Daley II.
The second.
I don't count. I guess Mayor Daley is technically Daley II.
He is.
So maybe this is Mayor Daley II Jr. or
The third.
2.0?
2.
Or is it 2.1? I'm not sure. Either way, Rahm Emanuel more or less claims to be reform-minded, but and different and more open and more responsive than our previous Mayor Daley, but evidence suggests not.
Oh no!
Yes,
Big surprise.
Yeah, and recently I read last week in the Sun-Times an article on how when Rahm took office, he basically said that every city department head had to cut senior management payroll by 10%.
Correct. I remember that.
And I don't know how everybody else did, but his own office, it hasn't happened. Basically, the office has gone from salaries of $6.9 million to $7.6 million.
That is a total.
It's not a 10% cut.
No,
it's more like a 10% raise in that. And they're trying to kind of play, 10 employees actually are paid off of this. It's weird. Rather than accept that they basically lied, his office is trying now to kind of explain it away with fuzzy math.
Fuzzy math. In other words, they've cut here, they've cut there, and this is substantial for what we're doing, blah, blah, blah.
Yeah.
But it still goes back to what we've been discussing before, that the fact that Chicago has no money.
Yeah.
Supposedly.
Yeah.
But we have plenty of money to give these people over $100,000 a year in salaries.
Right. And these are the people that essentially are appointed by the mayor. So it's the friends and family plan, the old Chicago friends and family plan, and in a lot of cases, Emanuel is paying them more than Daley paid for the same position.
So are you saying that we should go apply for a job with the mayor?
Unless you know him, I very much doubt that you'll get that job.
Darn it! Just thought I'd ask.
It's it wouldn't be so bad, except that there's all this double talk, and fortunately, and a lot of people in the mainstream media are not exposing these things and doing their digging. There's lots of TV and some newspaper reporters that seem to be kind of taking whatever the mayor's office says as gospel and reporting that, and it's never a good thing.
Would you feel better if the salaries weren't over $100,000? Would it be a better situation, you think?
I don't care what individual salaries are. If he's going to come in and say that everybody should cut 10%, he should also cut 10%, like he said he was going to. I mean, the whole point of it is to follow through on what you say you're going to do. In this case, are a lot of these bureaucrats making too much money or more than they need to make? Yes, without a doubt. But that's another issue altogether. That whole concept of, well, we have to compete with private industry is bull crap. When it's just crap. So
back to the fact that Chicago has no money. I just want to put that out there again.
I guess an easier way to pay to raise money would be if if they still kept money from the parking meters.
Oh no. Are we going to talk about another story about parking meters?
Well, I don't know. Was there another story about parking meters? I think
there's another story in the news about
that.
I
think there is.
Oh, no. Well, Ron Buddy. What do you want to call him? 2.0? 2.5?
Daily 2.1 might be the...
Okay, all right. So he's feeling a lot of crap because of this parking meter situation. We've talked about this before. So now we see that... the parking meter people are saying that because of the NATO conference that was here, that the city of Chicago is going to owe them money for closing down the parking meters. Some type of little rule in there that Rahm Emanuel knew about already.
Well, I mean, everybody knew about it. It's the parking meter, the parking meter contract that was negotiated on the city's side by a law firm that the previous mayor, Mayor Daley, now is an employee of, or is, I guess maybe not an employee, but is part of. That deal is pretty airtight. That basically says that if streets are shut down, then the loss of revenue, the city has to make up for it.
Correct.
And it's one of the many things, Emanuel, for whatever reason, liked to say that no taxpayer money was going to be spent on this NATO summit. And it's BS, because this will be taxpayer money. They're shutting down some streets. There won't be any parking. The city will owe this horrible consortium of hideous people lots of money.
Yeah, I mean, they're talking about over 6 figures. That's a lot of cash.
Yeah.
That's a lot of cash.
Yeah.
But Rahm said he doesn't want us to pay for it. That's what he said.
Well, he's going to try to get the government, the federal government, to pay for it. I hate to say it, the federal government runs on taxes that we pay. So either way, it's public money. Whether it's Chicago money or federal money, it's still, and it's slimy. It's a slimy thing. And the parking meter company, Laz Parking, is a slimy company. And I just certainly hope that a lot of the Occupy protesters or the NATO protesters who come here, punches Laz Parking people.
Wow. Yes. And also, this isn't the only time that they're saying that Chicago owes them money.
No.
At any time since, 2010?
Yeah, they're
they said
disputing.
we owe them.
They're disputing bills, including, Laz thinks it's like $14 million over the year or something like that. I'm telling you this.
Ridiculous.
The city wasn't making $14 million on their parking meters before they made this deal.
Right.
Okay, so we are getting raped by this parking meter company, and it is an assault on the city.
And we can't get out of it.
Nope.
Alrighty. Today's show was brought to you by nothing. Nada. No sponsors. Available wherever nothing is sold.
You're listening to the John and Linetia Show.